to call this meeting to order. The time is 6 p.m. on Tuesday, January 8th, 2019. All right, so first of all, welcome to the first meeting of 2019 of the legislature. I'm Brittany Colby, your newly elected county clerk, and I hope everyone had a great new year and a very fun and family-oriented holiday. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Legislator Kelly.
Present.
Legislator Sweet.
Present.
Legislator Diamond.
Present.
Legislator Headwell.
Present.
Legislator Wilson.
Present.
Legislator Duchessis.
Present.
Legislator Peck.
Present.
Legislator Isabel.
Present.
Legislator Patel.
Here.
All right, so first on the agenda is resolution number 1. Oh, I'm sorry. Chairman Heckville, will you lead us in the salute to the flag?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, now the first item on the agenda is resolution number 1 of 2019. Resolution electing chairman of the Montgomery County Legislature for the year 2019. May I have a sponsor?
Madam Chairman, I'd like to sponsor this resolution.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Discussion?
Madam Chairman, I'd like to insert the name of the legislator from District 2, Brian Sweet. I need a second. I'll second.
Okay, discussion?
Madam Chairman, I'd like to make an amendment to the resolution and insert the name of legislator from District 4, Robert Headwell. I need a second. I'll second.
Okay, discussion?
I'd like to clear a couple things up here tonight before we get too far into this process. It's been rumored that if I were elected chairman, I would have a hidden agenda. And I'm here to say publicly that I have no hidden agenda. My agenda would be, and I'm going to read this because I'm more of a calculated guy than an off-the-cuff guy. But anyways, my agenda would be to continue the communication, not only between all the legislators, but also with the executive branch. I would like to make sure that the legislator, as a legislature, we keep everyone, including ourselves, fiscally responsible, as we have been doing for the past 2 years. I would like to make sure that all legislators have an equal voice and representation of their constituents. As far as not being trusted, I cannot think of anything that I have said or done in the last 2 years or the 4 years previous as a supervisor that would make anyone here think that. I've always voted in the best interest of my constituents. I feel I have the experience not only from being a former supervisor running the township and working with 14 other supervisors for 4 years, but also the last 2 years is serving on the legislature. It never hurts to have a fresh voice for leadership. I'm willing to be that voice. Thank you.
Legislator Patel?
Thank you. There are 3 times during the year that the legislators, it's very stressful. Budget time, election time, and the election of the chairman. Election of a chairman often starts out about October and lasts through the new year, pitting party against party, friends against friends, and legislators posturing for position. The process boils down to getting 5 votes. Never feeling secure until the organization meeting comes around. This process is often followed up with threats or promises of favored committee chair positions, pressure from our friends that helped us get elected, pressure from our fellow legislators to support a candidate. In this case, we have a chairman who would like to be chairman again. It's not unheard of, but it's not what's been done in the past. I struggled with this, and I came to terms with it with the following. I asked myself 5 questions. Has the communication from the previous chair been proactive? Has there been any direction or effort to reduce cost, increase fund balance, or curtail the use of fund balance to balance the budget? Has the position or responsibilities of the legislator been strengthened? And am I voting to support an individual chairman because it makes sense? Or I'm prepared to vote for someone because outside influences, like people or persons that helped elect me? Am I voting for someone because I'm intimidated into believing I won't get a chair committee that I feel that I'm suited for? As we move on, whoever is chairman, we need to make an improvement and appreciate the values of the position. My expectation as a legislator for 2019 year is that the chairman works strategically, setting goals, increasing communication, influencing others to reduce cost, reduce the dependence on fund balance to balance the budget, and increase the fund balance. Although it appears that the rule of 5 has already been submitted by Mr. Headwell, I ask you to do what you feel is right for Montgomery County, not for your family, friends, or yourself. We have another legislator that has stepped up to the plate to give you an opportunity to have a choice. And I will be supporting Brian Sweet as chair. If you feel that this holds water, do the right thing. Thank you.
Okay, we need to vote on the amendment brought forth by Legislator Diamond for Chairman Headwell as the 2019 chairman. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Legislator Diamond.
Aye.
Legislator Headwell.
Aye.
Legislator Wilson.
Aye.
Legislator Duchessis.
Aye.
Legislator Peck.
Aye.
Legislator Isabel.
Aye.
Legislator Patel.
No.
Legislator Kelly.
Nay.
Legislator Sweet.
Aye.
Pass.
Resolution has amended. And now we have to have a vote on the resolution as amended. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Legislator Diamond.
Aye.
Legislator Headwell. Legislator Wilson.
Aye.
Legislator Duchessis.
Aye.
Legislator Peck.
Aye.
Legislator Isabel.
Aye.
Legislator Patel.
No.
Legislator Kelly.
Aye.
Legislator Sweet.
Aye.
Pass.
Chairman, if you'll meet me at the front here. Madam
Congratulations.
Clerk.
Way to really make me look short.
Okay, if you will raise your right hand. Yeah, so you should be over here. There you go. Raise your right hand for me, please. I, Robert Headwell Jr.,
I, Robert Headwell Jr.,
do swear that I will support
I do swear I will support
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Chairman of the Montgomery County Legislature
as office as Chairman of the Montgomery County Legislature
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take your place next year.
Okay, resolution number 2, resolution electing a deputy chairman of the Montgomery County Legislature for the year 2019.
I'll sponsor the resolution.
Sponsor second. Second by Legislator Wilson. I'd like to amend the resolution adding Legislator Ducecci as the deputy chairman.
I'll sponsor.
Second by Legislator Pep.
I'll second. No, I'm the second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Opposed? All in favor of the resolution as amended?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Yes. Brittany, are you gonna do this one?
See, already you save money on the plaque.
Oh, no, I got it.
If you will raise your right hand. I, Don Ducessi,
I, John Ducessi,
do swear that I will support
do swear that I will support
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Deputy Chairman of the Montgomery County Legislature
of the office of Deputy Chairman of the Montgomery County Legislature
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Resolution number 3, resolution adopting rules of procedure of the Montgomery County Legislature for the year of 2019. Have a sponsor? Sponsor Legislator Pep, second. Legislator Kelly. Discussion. Legislator Diamond.
Chair, thank you. Last year, we did have not a stumble, but something that hadn't happened in the past, where a resolution went through committee, was voted down, and then it continued on as a resolution for the full legislature. And I think, that can be handled several ways. One of them is an amendment that I've spoke with our council about, that the wording would, in fact, if a resolution is voted down in committee, that would be it, as far as the committee is concerned. Any legislator during a regular board meeting could bring up the same resolution, but it's an additional step. And the other part of it is, if in fact we didn't want to do that, or I guess without having this type of verbiage, I don't really see a sense in having committees. So that's also an option for the legislature. Just do away with the committees, and everything will go to the full legislature, and it'll be decided at that time. So this evening, I did bring forth the amendment for your perusal. And secondly, just maybe try to stimulate what your wishes are as far as going forward. And I would be willing to accept the rules of procedure as they are and work on this in committee if people need more time to digest it. But what this amendment basically says is that resolution is going to be voted up or down, and that's the decision. And also, you do have you can forward resolution without a recommendation. That's another option. But so those are your options.
So, when you say forward it without a recommendation, whose responsibility would that be if it doesn't go through committee?
So no, it goes through committee.
It goes through committee, but isn't
So the people could say, I'm in favor of moving this to the full board without a recommendation. So we're not supporting it or declining it. So I mean, that's an option we've always had.
would you have a?
I second. I'll second.
Okay.
Well, my understanding was this was for brought up under discussion and there's no formal amendment yet, right?
I didn't submit the amendment.
Right,
yet.
there's no amendment yet, this is just
I-
a
I
formal
did.
discussion.
I'd be happy to if that's what you wanted to do, but I thought as a committee, like the education going, that might be a better place to go through all the options.
So are you saying that you'd be okay if we brought it back to the committee to
Definitely.
discuss before we voted on it and not vote on it today? It's an
Definitely.
amendment.
Definitely.
I would prefer that. I don't know how everybody else feels. I don't think it's that.
Yeah, I kind of would like to have a chance to just digest a little bit. I kind of agree with legislator Dunn saying that, we really need to have a procedure in place so that, we don't run into the same problem we had, not that it was a real problem, but, yeah, I would say, bring it up at the appropriate
Education.
Yeah, and then,
Which is gonna be in 2 weeks anyways.
right, so it'll give us all a chance to digest.
Motion to take, it's not on the floor yet, though. You can't even table it, right?
It's just discussion.
It's just discussion right now, I didn't make a formal.
Resolutions on the floor.
The resolution's on the floor too.
All right, motion to table.
Can't table
our rules of procedure.
I didn't bring it forward.
We
I just
vote
brought it
back.
up under discussion, there is amendment for you to look at.
Okay,
But what you could do is after it goes through committee, then you could do a motion to amend this resolution, replacing the rules of procedure with a different amended set of rules of procedure.
Anybody else on any other matters in regards to the amended, or rules of procedures? If not, all in favor of adopting the rules of procedure?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Yes.
So we'll just put that on this month. Resolution number 4.
Be under education.
Resolution number 4, a resolution designating depositories for the county funds in the name of the county treasurer during the 2019 and fixing the maximum amounts which may be kept on deposit therein at any one time. Sponsored by Legislator Kelly, second by Legislator Sweet. Discussion?
Are there any changes over the previous year on this?
Yes.
Could you outline them for us, please?
Green County Commercial Bank is added to the depositories.
Thank you.
Anything else? Yes.
Can I ask the executive how we arrive at candidates for this? And how a bank like that would get added? I can answer. I spoke with Sean about it last year, so either we approach them as being the depository, or they can approach us anytime. And I think Green County approached us later on in the year last year, didn't they? So it wasn't part of the original resolution, so throughout the year, we can add or delete and increase or decrease the amount of money.
So they called on us for our business.
I'm not sure that's what happened. We either called on them or they called on us.
Yeah, it's been determined, I think it's one of the duties for the county treasurer, and he submits his recommendation every year. I'm not completely sure what his process is.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
I abstain.
Yes.
Okay, resolution number 5, resolution designating newspapers to publish the county matters for the year 2019. Have a motion. By Legislator Pep, second. Legislator Kelly, discussion. Yes.
Is there any reason that this is limited to just hard paper newspapers, and we wouldn't add it to that, some internet-based local things? I don't know if there's much significance of this, but I suppose this is just for matters of record that were recorded, right?
Legal.
For legal notices.
So I withdraw that question.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Yes.
the resolutions that we have for the organization meeting. Other, I would like to keep the committees the same this year as they were last year. And if anybody that is on a committee that does not want to be on the committee or does no longer want to be the chairman of that committee, please pass that information on to the clerk, and then the changes will be made. But if she doesn't get any changes, we'll go exactly with what we've had for the previous year. Anything else? Motion to adjourn? Motion by Kelly, second.
Second.
By Brian, all in favor?
Aye. Yeah, we got 5 questions. 5 minutes.
Okay. Okay. We'll call a special meeting to order January 8th, 2019, Tuesday, 6:22. Roll call,
Chairman Headwell,
present.
Legislator Wilson,
Present.
Legislator Duchessis,
Present.
Legislator Papp,
Present.
Legislator Isabel,
Present.
Legislator Patel,
Here.
Legislator Kelly,
Here.
Legislator Sweet.
Present. Present.
How would you move?
Oh, I'm sorry, Legislator Diamond.
Let the record show.
Okay, let's say we salute the flag.
I checked it for you.
Legislator Diamond.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first one that we have is the veto resolution. Does anyone want to bring it up? And nothing, we will move on to resolution number 6. Resolution number 6, resolution rescheduling the January meetings of the Montgomery County Legislature. A motion? Legislator Pat, second. Legislator Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain.
Pass.
Resolution number 7, resolution reestablishing the title of supervising public health nurse and eliminating the title of director of patient services. Have a sponsor? Sponsored by Legislator Diamond, second by Legislator Isabel. Discussion. We do have the Director of Public Health here, and we'll let her take it forward.
I believe Cheryl gave everybody a packet that has some brief points supporting this resolution. In 2008, the Montgomery County Public Health Department became what we now know as ALICSA, which stands for a Licensed Home Care Services Agency, and we are no longer a CHA, which stands for a Certified Home Health Agency, which means the scope of services that we now provide and previously provided changed quite a bit. In working with restructuring with the New York State Department of Health, it was found that going forward, our nurses will no longer be able to hold a degree as an RN, that they will need to have a bachelor's degree in nursing or higher in order to meet the qualifications set forth by New York State Department of Health. In saying that, we are looking at the restructure. I believe in page 3 of your packet, there is a proposed organizational chart that we developed in order to show how, moving forward, the new regulations by the Department of Health would be laid out to support that. Page 2 of your packet has the outline from the Department of Health that state the qualifications for the supervising public health nurse, as well as all other public health nurses that will need to be hired here going forward. Again, as of 2008, we became a LICSA and no longer a CHA, because we need to start getting into compliance with the regulations that are set forth by the state. Last year, because of some staffing changes, we were short in our state aid about $53,000, so I lost $53,000 in state aid billing. And looking forward into the 2019 year, currently I am only down one staff person, and so we are hoping that we will be able to fulfill that and then some. If I meet my $500,000 base salary, which I'm hoping to do, we will then be able to get reimbursed 36% on the dollar above our $500,000 base grant from state aid.
Any questions from anyone?
Thank you, John.
We do have to have an amendment, and you all do have a copy of the amendment, of the sponsor for the amendment. Legislator Cap. Second. Legislator Wilson. Discussion on the amendment. All in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Pass.
And now the resolution as amended. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Resolution passed.
And resolution number 8. Resolution authorizing rescinding resolution 226 of 2018 and authorizing the county executive to sign agreements for control of snow and ice. You need a sponsor?
Sponsor.
Sponsored by legislator Patel, second by legislator Pep. Discussion.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
and my understanding is that going forward, we're going to be establishing some baseline measurements and some reporting so that we understand fully what services are being provided and their cost. And that will be something that we can use to guide us when future requests for increases are made.
You're 100% correct.
Thank
And
you.
we are going to have a meeting in June or July of this summer to look at the data so we can start to do that. Legislator Patel.
I'd like to amend this. I'd like to increase the town of Amsterdam's portion to an additional $25,000. The reason that I suggest that is that the town of Amsterdam is a totally different animal than the rest of the towns in the county. The town of Amsterdam plays a very important part in keeping the commercial corridor open on Route 30, Miami Avenue, Maple Avenue. The town of Amsterdam is a major thoroughfare throughout the county to get from one place to the other. People leaving to go to Saratoga, Schenectady counties, Fulton counties. The town of Amsterdam predominantly uses a 60-40 mix in their salt sand mixture. Right now, if you look at the cost of just pure sand, you're looking at $5.75 a cubic yard as opposed to $67 a cubic yard for salt. The roads in the town of Amsterdam are taking a lot more salt than before, and they're also using, they have 4-lane highways throughout the community. So I would ask that we amend that for those reasons.
Do we have a second?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to discuss another aspect of this resolution.
So we need a second to have discussion.
we need a second on that amendment, or?
I'll second for discussion.
Mr. Chairman?
Okay, we have legislator.
Okay.
I just wanted to see if there was a way, although now that Legislator Patel has injected another aspect of this resolution, it may make my point moot here, but given the impact as we see it on the resolution of being a rather small amount of $22,500, and the resolution designating that this money come out of contingency. If I'm not mistaken, we've, between the time we passed our budget and the end of the year, we've already passed 2 resolutions that are gonna tap our contingency somewhere in the vicinity of 40 to 45,000. This, and I tried to get that precise figure from our treasurer once I got here for the meeting, and he wasn't capable of giving me the accurate, but it is in that range. So, and knowing that we have a CSEA contract to negotiate where we may have to tap into this contingency as well later on this month or next month, I was hoping, and there was a way that we may find the funds necessary to fund this 1-year adjustment here from some other line item in DPW, so I just wanted to put that on the floor, and I do understand we could pass this tonight, you know, contingent upon perhaps changing accounting entries at some particular point in time, pass it, and then make another resolution later if that money could be found elsewhere in that budget, and replenish the contingency if this is a matter of urgency and immediacy that it needs to get passed, so that we could get it passed here tonight. But then to make an accounting adjustment later in the month after it gives the executive and the treasurer time to perhaps find that money elsewhere in the DPW budget.
I think that's a good point that you bring up. I think it's a matter of urgency to get this approved and passed, and I think that, you know, allowing that leeway to make that correction down the road would be the correct.
Of course, I mean, that's just an observation about the structure of the resolution as is. Certainly, we want to give Legislator Patel's amendment its just due as well.
Yeah, I think circumstances are different for each of these towns. I don't think there's any question about that. But what is in question is what the actual costs are for the highway departments versus how much reimbursement they've received from the county. So before I support this amendment, I would like to know if we actually know what those numbers are, how much was spent at the highway department last year, and how much the county reimbursed the town for in this particular instance.
I have the documentation that you guys had received earlier from the town of Amsterdam. I don't know that it addresses exactly what the costs are. I think the issue when it comes to costs is tainted. And I think the way that we've developed over the years is inappropriate and not necessarily factual. And I think in order to get good figures to satisfy what your question is, you have to do this over a 10-year period, so you get the law of averages. I mean, some years, some of these towns make money, sometimes they lose money. And I don't think we're doing justice to anybody either way. This has become a hot potato that neither the towns or the county really want to delve into, but it has to be delved into. So to answer your question, I might be able to go through this documentation that I have. I can't do it in front of you today. But the discussions with the town highway department superintendent from the town of Amsterdam, who, by the way, provided the best information from what I can see from all the towns, okay? Has had trip sheets, has had the amount of snow that's fallen, has had the information on how much sand and salt is used. But the problem is that it's 1 year of information. All I know is that if it's equitable for everybody else, I think the town of Amsterdam has a heavier haul than the rest, and we should recognize that.
Mr. Chairman, as you recall, 2 years ago, we met to discuss this, and I have indeed gone over those figures with your highway superintendent. They're very good and well documented, and I take no issue with that at all. I was just simply asking for the total.
Get that, I'll get that.
Since, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Since you mentioned it, that you'd like to look at a number of years, I think it'd be pretty easy to go back and look at the town's AUD and see what the highway department spent for the last 10 years, and you can look at and see what you were reimbursed for the last 10 years, and then you'll know how you did with the contract and whether you were indeed contributing to the county in ways other than you were supposed to. And I say this in the spirit of taking seriously my votes when it comes to spending the county money, as you just reminded us.
Any other discussion on this? So on the amendment to add an extra 25,000 to the town of Amsterdam. Roll call.
Legislator Patel.
Aye.
Legislator Kelly.
Nay.
Legislator Sweet.
Nay.
Legislator Diamond.
Nay.
Chairman Headwell.
Nay.
Legislator Wilson.
Nay.
Legislator Duchessis.
Nay.
Legislator Peck.
Nay.
Legislator Isabel.
Yes.
The amendment failed.
Legislator Kelly.
I have two things, but first, in response to Legislator Peck, with regards to finding the money elsewhere within the budget within DPW. Last year, DPW took a huge hit in the budget, and knowing what the contingent account is for, it's for negotiating contracts, and this is a negotiating contract. So normally, I would agree with you in finding it throughout the budget, but that's what the purpose of the contingent account is for. So I am okay with it coming out of there. The next thing is, I would like to propose an amendment to it. In the second where resolved clause, I think it's a typo. It says in the last line for 2-year contract for the period of January 1, 2019 through December 31st, 2021. I believe it ends December 31st, 2020.
Second on the amendment.
Second it.
Second.
Sweet.
Discussion.
The county executive is.
No, mine says 20, so I have a special copy over here.
Oh.
I don't think we need an amendment for typo.
It's a typo.
Is it?
But did you have something else?
It's not
with that?
full amendment. We're at the full ledge. If we were in committee, I think we could treat it as a typo and just change it.
Yeah, 65 days is a big typo.
We have a sponsor in a second.
Yeah, we have a sponsor in a second, so all in favor?
Do we have any discussion on that?
Oh, I'm sorry, discussion? Sorry.
My discussions, Legislator Kelly, with the treasurer just this evening, I had made this request about a week ago, and it had escaped me until I got here tonight. In my discussions with him, he did indicate that he felt that there were a couple of areas in the budget, one of which would be CHIPS money, extra CHIPS money that may be laying around from last year, where this could come from. Now, with knowledge of that, would that change your position since you are a contingency miser such as I am?
No, no, because I think the CHIPS money should go on, repair and maintenance of the road.
Okay, even if it was left over.
It shouldn't be left over.
Well-
It should be already designated for projects in the works, if I understand CHIPS.
I don't know if you can use CHIPS money for that, can you?
No.
Okay. But today.
Well,
But I think,
no, but I just wanted to make you aware of that if in fact it was a possibility.
You got poor Eric in the back already nervous and jerky because he lost half his budget to begin with.
You can't use, CHIPS is meant for a 10-year program. You can only use CHIPS money, it's gotta be dedicated to a certain project for road maintenance. It's gotta be a certain year, it's gotta qualify for a certain year program, so.
Okay, I just.
We can use for contracts, legislator Pep, if that contract pertains to the repair or building of that road, like to an engineering firm, and it's like, then it's a 10-year treatment to that road, and for their engineering services to design bridge work, things like that, yes, in that case, culverts, that could be used, but not for,
Okay, well then it's best that you advise the treasurer of that as well, because it appears as though, I mean, and I use him as an authority on those matters when it comes to this, so I wouldn't have brought it up if it hadn't been brought up to me first, in that fashion. Okay.
Anything else for discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed?
that's the
And the
amendment.
Amendment.
Just
Yeah.
legislator Diamond.
Yeah, I oppose, and I'll give you my reason is because the next resolve has the correct date, so it's a typo. That's my voting theory.
Okay.
Passed.
On the resolution, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Pass.
Resolution number 9. Resolution delegating erroneous assessment corrections approval authorizing resolution designating erroneous assessment corrections approval authority to the county auditor for the 2019 year. Sponsor, Legislator Kelly, second. Legislator Pep, discussion. Legislator Patel.
I guess I don't understand the reasoning of doing this. We recently had a lot of discussion about assessments and taxes. And although we didn't all agree, I thought it was a good discussion. And I don't see the objective of delegating this to someone else. I think it's one more time liquidating the authority of this body and the responsibilities of the same.
Any other discussion? Yes.
Well, just for Legislator Patel, what this is a yearly resolution, and anything under 2,500, the county auditor will resolve. Anything over 25, our body will resolve.
Understood, I think.
Oh, you got it.
I think got it. Good.
I retract my statement.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
No.
3 noes.
3. Kelly. Patel.
Anyone abstain?
Pass.
Other? Yes.
So the resolution from the previous year that with the veto, when does it expire?
It's 20 or 30 days. 1 second.
And when did the veto happen?
December 18th.
It's 30 days. 30 days.
30.
Which is next Tuesday.
Yeah,
If
this,
it's the 30 days.
accept the veto.
That's what happened. by
That's what happened.
Overriding.
We didn't remove it to override it. We didn't.
In other words, if we would have to have a resolution to override it, if not, then the veto stands.
Right, but the way it was explained, the way that I understood it is, we weren't going to discuss it this month, we were gonna do it next month. Well, next month, it's a moot point.
Correct.
So, is it our intentions to have it fail? That was my only question. To not override the veto, is that the body's intent?
I think from my standpoint, I would support leaving the veto the way it is because of some other things that were reviewed and came out with other information. So I would be supportive of not.
I just wanted everyone to be aware, and not next month go, oh, we got to vote on it.
It was 30 days.
Anything else? Motion to adjourn? Legislator Kelly, second. Legislator Sweet, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?